Ooh. Hey guys, want to test out a Rampage? Let's go. Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here talking about the Black Eagle Rampage. Gonna do a little testy, little reviewy. Pretty cool little arrow. Really reasonably priced for a 1000 straightness, and that's a kind of a big deal. To get to our numbers here, those are made in a massive variety of spines and some really stiff ones, but the price does change when you get down to 250 and 150, and it's like drastically more. So keep that in mind when you're talking about that, the 250, 200, and 150. These are $142.99 for 1000 straightness arrows, which is pretty impressive. They are available in a 150, a 200, a 250, a 300, a 350, and a 400. So that's a spec sheet that most don't offer. In fact, I don't know if anybody offers a 150 other than them. But don't hold me to the number, but I want to say the 250s are like 10 bucks more a dozen, the 200s are like $50 more a dozen, and the 150s are like $80 or $90 more a dozen. So you're going to pay an awful lot more for that super stiff arrow. The componentry that we had to use in here to get to our F.O.C. number of at least 14.5%, based off of what they make, near that I could tell, and I might have missed something, but I scoured their website trying to cover what insert options they had, but it looked like the only insert option was 100 grains outside of the stock one. And to get to that, so what we built was a 100 grain tip, 100 grain focus insert system. We ended up at 16.4% F.O.C. and a 472.6 grain total weight arrow to get over the 14.5% that we like to run. So there are other inserts you can put in these arrows, but for our reviews, we're trying to only mention the products that they offer. So if you're going to get a Black Eagle and you're going to want that 15%, that's the focus system that weighs, according to their website, 100 grains for these arrows. So this is a sealed pack. We haven't touched it, haven't opened it, just grabbed a random set over there. So let's see how straight they are. How straight they look, I should say. Little wobble on the front. Back end's pretty straight. That one's like glass. That's a good one. So we have one with a little bit of wobble. Is that knock end moving? That looks pretty straight. I don't think that knock end's moving, but it just kind of looked a little weird, so it might be. That knock end's definitely moving. Front end's straight. Knock end's moving quite a bit, so in this scenario, if I was making this a 28-inch arrow, I would cut that end off. All of our tests are done with 300 spine arrows at 28-inch, just so you know, to make those numbers. That's what we're going to do every single brand's comparables on, because that's our most common selling stuff. That is really wobbly. Can you see that on camera though? Like, stand up over here and look down at it. And this is just a random set, guys. We're not like nitpicking or nothing. Shoot it from above with the white paper on the background, because you'll see it easier. Do you see that wobbling in there now? Okay, so, and I'm only having you do that and point that out because so far we haven't gone through a lot of arrows, but that was like the worst looking one of any. But this is only a second dozen that we've tested of overall everybody's arrows. So, and then that one's like glass. So we've got one slightly questionable and one I would say bad. I don't know if I'd even shoot that arrow, because that's pretty bad. Now that one's great. Now I'm not sure how they would handle that if you bought a dozen and pulled it out and one was clearly crooked. My guess is they'd probably send you another arrow, but I'm not sure, so we'd have to ask them about that. And a little wobble on the front, but not bad, not enough to make me go, ooh, that arrow's not going to shoot. It's probably okay. Yeah, when you have wobble like that, that was straight. When you have wobble like that, you're not going to fix that with a squaring tool because it's in the arrow itself. It's not a edge deal. So that front moves just a little bit. Knock end looks a little, really minimal. So I'm going to give it one more there. Okay, so that one's pretty straight. So I'm going to start off by saying that half of these arrows are questionable on being a 1000 straightness. Now, I am going to say I easily could have got one funky bundle, so I'm not going to say they're all this way, so please don't think I'm just bashing on Black Eagle. That's what we found out of this set. It was still taped shut, nobody's touched it. So let's weigh them out and see what we run into here. Okay, nice cheat sheet here. 288 even. 288.0. Bring these towards me here. Move that out the way. I need that over here. Whoop. 288.4. 288.6. 288.6. So far, so good, guys. It's not bad. 288.4. 288.3. 288.4. 288.4. 288.1. Oh, 3, sorry. Moved on me. So super weight consistent so far. 288.3. 288.1. Oh, 0.3. So it looks like at worst, 288.3. 0.6. That's really minimal. This is only our second set of arrows that we've gone through randomly and checked, but that is the lowest weight tolerance. So that's actually a pretty impressive number to get to those specs that we talked about. Now, let's be fair here. Yes, there's 4 or 5 that aren't perfect, but these are also the cheapest 1000 straightness arrows we can find that are, cold and sorted that way. Every other thing that you're going to find that's a 1000 straightness is going to be drastically more expensive. And we may have just had an outlier. They may not all be that way, but this is hellaciously consistent for 140, what was it, 142 or something like that? Yeah, 142.99 a dozen for a 1000 straightness 204 arrow. If I was going to jump down this road personally and trying to get to that 15%, I'd probably use somebody else's insert instead of that to be more at that kind of weight. And maybe they make a slightly different system. But as most of you know, I am not a big fan of anything aluminum in the front of your arrow. So unless it's all steel, I would probably avoid it, but that's just me. But all in all, that's a pretty impressive arrow. A little questionable on the straightness for what they are, but most manufacturers' 3000 straightness arrows are more expensive than these are to 1000. So take that with a grain of salt. I might have found one that wasn't 3000s, maybe. I mean, and that is probably an outlier. That probably doesn't happen very often. So for what it's worth, really good arrows. They are available on the website, podiumarcher.com. Check us out. Follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting. A lot more here coming soon. Just trying to keep up with the flow as much as we can. Comment down below what other things you'd like to see and what other things we're not looking at that you would like to see. Please keep in mind, if it's going to take an hour to test something, that's probably not really feasible for a video, guys. As much as I'd like to, I only have so many hours in the day, and I want to get you as much information as I can so you can make accurate and informed decisions, because at the end of the day, I want you to be better archers. I want to make you better archers best I can with whatever information I can give. Keep following along. I appreciate all the support, guys. Swag coming. Check us out.